I want to bring in Farron Cousins, a progressive commentator and host of the syndicated weekly podcast Ring of Fire, and Ken Cuccinelli, a Republican, former acting Secretary of Homeland Security and former Attorney General of Virginia. Thank you so much to you both for coming on. Appreciate it. Farron, I'll start with you. So what's going on? Why the slide for Vice President Kamala Harris?
I think a lot of what we're seeing right now has to do with, that so-called honeymoon period has definitely come to an end. She got the huge bounce when she took over after Biden dropped out. And then, of course, while still writing that, we had the debate where she handily defeated Donald Trump. But now that all of that has settled and we're 3 weeks and a day out from this thing here, I think it's really coming down to it's time to talk about the issues. And the problem with that is that she is doing it, but she's doing it to audiences that are already agreeing with her, right? So it's great to go out there and hold a rally, but when you do it, you're talking to people that are already going to vote for you no matter what you say. She needs the national audience, which is why a second or even a third debate would have been wonderful for her. So instead, she is having to settle for, okay, I'll go do Fox News. I'm going to do a CNN town hall. And maybe that is a good way to get her message out there to more people. But at this stage in the game, it's a struggle. It's going to be a slugfest down until the very end of this. But, Trump chickening out of a second debate has absolutely kind of put the brakes on the momentum that her campaign had.
I don't know if it's chickening out. It's probably a wise strategy. He didn't do a second debate. And Ken, you can agree or disagree with that. But I do want to ask you, Ken, when you think about Donald Trump, he just can't seem to get out of his own way. He could just focus on the issues, let everything happen with Kamala Harris. But I'll give you another example. If we could put up number 5. He's now challenging Kamala Harris to a cognitive test, saying that she needs to pass a test on cognitive stamina and agility. He said her actions have led many to believe that there could be something very wrong with her. He criticized 60 Minutes at CBS. Is these the fights he should be taking right now when it seems, a lot of people said this could be his election to lose, and he might be losing it?
So that isn't how I would proceed if I were him. I think it's his equivalent. The cognitive assault on Kamala Harris is his equivalent of her raising, medical exams now for a guy who everybody's watched run around the country at an incredible pace, a higher pace than she's running around the country. And I agree with Farron about her rise and fall with the honeymoon. But I would also add, as somebody who sort of relied on base voters to go talk to people, she didn't ever go through the primary process in 2024. She doesn't have those people who bonded with her during that process. And recall that as vice president, she had very low approval ratings, some of the lowest in history. So that honeymoon kick was really important, and it's over now. And now people are looking at what affects my life. And she has not been able to come up with a message that separates her from the terrible Joe Biden economic record. And she's saying things like, my values haven't changed. While Trump is drilling down, yes, he makes the comments along the lines you mentioned, Jesse, but he also drills down on the economy. He drills down on immigration. And hardly a day goes by without another immigration horror story that's a result of the open border.
It's just another cycle of what is a very unpredictable election cycle. I think we can all agree on that. Farron Cousins, Ken Cuccinelli, wish we had a little bit more time, but thank you both for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.